I want to take a moment to find out what's new in technology from the CEO of Alvarez Technology Group, Luis Alvarez. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Rebecca. How are you today?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing really well, and today I want to talk a little bit about social media. We've talked about social media in the past, and we're going to talk about it in the future. It's just, kind of a whole new wave, a whole new paradigm.
You can't get away from it.
You cannot. Especially, now during the Olympics, it's like social media all the time.
Yep.
Well, I ran into some really interesting information about the contrast in use of social media between men and women on a website called Mashable that I wanted to share with you. Have you ever gone to Mashable.com?
I haven't. I've never even heard of it.
Oh, it's terrific. You got to check it out. It provides some really interesting information about the internet use and especially about social networking.
So social media is always a hot topic, but I think you were saying that there's some difference between how men and women are using social media, and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. For example, overall, women outnumber men by 56 to 44% in the use of social media, which most people wouldn't know, especially in Twitter and Facebook, where they dominate, representing about 60% of those users. Men are more heavily involved in LinkedIn, which is a more professional, career, business-focused social networking site, and something called Reddit.com, which is a social news site where users can create their own news feeds and customize a news front page. Mm-hmm. Men generally represent about 60% of those users. Mm-hmm. But where women really dominate, however, is in something called Pinterest.com, which is a really innovative social media site where women and men can share things that they find on the web by pinning those links to a page and then letting other people access those links. Mm-hmm. And the fact that women use Pinterest by close to 80% has not been lost on advertisers. Companies that cater predominantly to female consumers have been really actively involved with Pinterest, such as Martha Stewart's websites, which get more traffic from Pinterest than they do from Facebook and Twitter combined.
Wow. I mean, that's some great vertical market segmentation. And it seems that women are making their presence known on social media, and based on what I'm hearing you say, it looks like women tend to be attracted to sites that might be more social, where they can share with friends and family, and men might be a little more focused on business-related sites. I don't want to be sexist, but it looks like the data tends to spin that way.
Well, yeah, that's definitely one conclusion you can draw from the data. Women are significantly more active on social networking sites overall, racking up more than 99 million more visits per month than their male counterparts, and sometimes in surprising ways. Take online gaming. When you think of someone playing an online computer game, what picture comes to your mind?
I guess the stereotype is an introverted teenage boy, barely out of puberty, maybe awkward around girls. I mean, isn't gaming kind of a male pastime? Well,
that's what most people think, but you'd be surprised to hear that women represent over 55% of the online gaming community, and over 60% of the users of the online games produced by Zynga, Farmville and those guys. One of the most popular multiplayer online games is something called World of Warcraft, which has over 10 million active users, and it's been around since 2004. So it's not something that just showed up. WoW, as it's called in shorthand, has, as the name indicates, it's an online fantasy game where people adopt characters called avatars and fight each other. You have your wizards, your knights, your orcs, and all the usual mythical suspects. And users form teams to go on quests, which usually includes a lot of blood and gore. And, again, not to be sexist, but you would think that would largely appeal to men. And it's true. 70% of the players are men. But the other 30% are, avid female players who love the game. And so women are making their presence known in cyberspace, especially on social networking.
So has that presence translated into more opportunities for women in technology? You'd think that all that interest in social networking would create some new career opportunities.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not the case. There's a tremendous gender gap when it comes to technology jobs like developers and programmers, where women make up only 20% of the roles out there. And you can really see the gender bias, though, reflected in online games like World of Warcraft, where you see that many of the female avatars are depicted as scantily clad, buxom caricatures with no real relation to real life. Not the way women see themselves, but mostly like those teenage boys we talked about see women. But there's a huge opportunity there. As people who run these online sites come to the realization of the economic opportunity that women represent. I think folks that put together Pinterest.com, for example, get it, and they're creating a site that's appealing to women. Having said that, there's a problem that young women generally aren't attracted to these kinds of technology jobs, even though they pay well and they're extremely high demand.
Well, as always, I can't thank you enough for taking time to stop by and talk about social networking. And as you pointed out early in this segment, we're going to be talking about social networking until we're 90 years old, because it's not going away, and it just gets to be more and more part of the fabric of commerce in the country and in the world. So we look forward to hearing from you again next week.
Well, thank you. This is Louis Alvarez of the Alvarez Technology Group, reminding everyone that when it comes to technology, forewarned,